Per 9000's Game Room.
Okay, so I'm here today to talk about Wrestling Empire, which is a game on the Nintendo Switch eShop, which was released on January 11th, 2021, so this very year. I bought it pretty much the day or day after release, and I've been playing it since. Now, it's a very interesting game because the entire game is made by one man, a man called Matt Dickey, who releases his games under the name M. Dickey. He made a game called Wrestling Revolution for the iOS and Android devices, which received over 100,000 downloads in 2 months after its launch in 2012, with the game going on to surpass 10 million downloads. It then had a sequel called Wrestling Revolution 3D. Now, to me, this is a really interesting game because it borrows a lot from older wrestling games, and apparently the guy himself admits that his work is influenced by the games he played as a child, which include WWF No Mercy, Superfire Pro Wrestling, and WWF WrestleFest, all of which are games that I enjoyed a lot. On further reading, the guy was actually born the same year as me, so his games playing probably led a very similar path to mine. He also tinkered with deluxe paint on his Commodore Amiga, and I was an Amiga owner, so I find this rather interesting. And I am a big fan of wrestling myself, particularly WrestleFest. You'll find on my channel that I've reviewed WrestleFest. I've also got other various bits of wrestling, like a review of Super WrestleMania on the SNES, some videos about Chris Benoit, so this is really down my alley. To me though, as soon as you play this, it does draw you back to the old N64 wrestling games and to the sort of first SmackDown 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 1. The graphics are that sort of style, it has that kind of feel to it. It does feel very much like No Mercy, but then the career mode kind of has more of the SmackDown flavour. There's talk in between matches. People offer to come and be your manager or be your tag partner. It's really in depth for a one-person game. Yes, if you've seen reviews of it, some people will say it's buggy, and there have been things where somebody's punched me and I've flown up in the air in a bizarre way. But it's no more buggy than a lot of the games back in that sort of N64 PS1 time period were. And this just feels like a massive love letter to old wrestling games. But there's so much in it. It's not a massive download. I can't remember the exact size of it, but it's like maybe 3/4 of a gig. And there are so many wrestlers in it who, they've got different names, but you look at them and you'll be like, that's Hulk Hogan, that's Typhoon, that's the Legion of Doom, that's one of the Bushwhackers, and it just works. You can even edit them so you could put the proper names in. I can't believe this game is made by one man, and it needs to be played, particularly if you spent hours and hours on No Mercy and SmackDown back in the day. This is a class game. Yes, it might have some flaws, but you'll soon forget any of them and find yourself lost in developing your wrestler's career. I didn't know who this guy was before playing this game. His earlier games I'd not noticed, but seriously, I'll keep an eye on him from there. I'd like to try anything else this guy brings out, and I wouldn't like to see him get swallowed up as part of a company, because I wouldn't like the games to lose this kind of flavour. But somebody should invest in this guy, because I've enjoyed this far more than the recent WWE games. Yeah, this might have some flaws, but they've got flaws, and they've also got a complete lack of heart. This game is clearly made by somebody who understands, appreciates and loves wrestling, and that really shines through. Okay, that's Kerr9000 signing off, saying keep on gaming.